by August, I got there in January, I knew everybody. Right? So opening night comes. Oh, let me back up a little bit. They asked me to join the cast as part of the singers, you know, just support staff. And so I was always one that was kind of in the background. Well, about 2 months into practice, we found that the girl that played, y'all seen the play Oklahoma? Remember that? Okay, I can't remember her name now, but she's the one that laughs. She kind of cackles. She was always after Curly Joe. Okay,
Edo Annie?
No, not Edo Annie. Whatever her name is, she was further down. Didn't have very many lines. They asked me to take her place. The lady that was doing it had to step down, and I said sure. 1 week before opening night, the lady that was playing Edo Annie got laryngitis. So they asked me if I could be her replacement. I was like, sure. Now talk about stepping out of your comfort zone. Number one, I cannot carry a tune in a bucket. Luckily, Edo Annie didn't have to sing well, so that worked out great. And because I'd been there for every practice, I knew her line, so it was a pretty easy transition. So I went from giving y'all lessons to being the support actress. So I'm still not sure quite how that worked. But back in 1976, we didn't have camcorders and digital recorders and everything. We had, what do you think? Cassette tapes. Y'all remember those, right? So we had a little cassette player that was sitting on the stage so that it would pick up, you know, everything, because I wanted to record this. This is a pretty cool deal. So we go through the whole thing. At the end, one of my dads, which actually ended up being dad number 8, I had 10 different families that I lived with, which is why I lived out of a suitcase, because I was only there about a month each time. But one of my dads had been to the States and met my parents in New Mexico. He flew into California, and he had been talking to my dad, so he drove to New Mexico. My parents drove to New Mexico. They had dinner and met and all that sort of stuff. And what I didn't know was my dad asked him to do something very special for me. So at the end, when we're all doing our bows and we're getting all the applause, he comes on stage and presents me with a dozen long-stem red roses from my dad, tell the audience that it was my birthday. Of course, I'm crying, you know, oh, I miss my dad. You know, I'd been there since January. But when I opened it up, there were little tiny American flags all stuck in there. And there was 17 of them, I was 16, turned 17, and I still have to this day all 17 of those little American flags, and I was just boo-hooing. Well, that night when I get home, I call my parents, and they're wishing me a happy birthday and everything. I tell them all about the play and how great it is, and again, stepping out of my comfort zone, being able to do all the after the play party stuff, meeting a lot of new people. I actually met what is equivalent to some of our congressmen that were there for the play, and I was very comfortable with that. But after the phone call, my dad and mom were sitting there. My mom tells a story. We're sitting there, and my dad was going, "Man, I can't believe we're missing Tammy's 18th birthday." And, you know, that's such a critical birthday, and we're not there to celebrate with her. We should have planned our trip, because they came over to visit. We should have planned our trip so we could be there for her birthday. And she said, "No, honey, she's 17. And he goes, "No, she's 18. And she said, "No, she's 17. She was 16, had a birthday, she's now 17. And he goes, "No, she was 17. And so she had to go pull my birth certificate out of my baby book to prove to him that I was 17. Well, he went into a 3-day depression. He could not believe he sent his baby girl halfway around the world all by herself and she was only 16. Now, I'm not sure what the difference is between 16 and 17, but for some reason that was critical for him. And he just could not believe that he did that. He worried for the rest of the time that I was going to get in trouble. Up until that point, I was grown and I was going to do fine. I don't know, mind thing. Another story I have to tell you, I was telling these gentlemen here earlier today, you know, Australians like to drink a little, okay? So, a lot, well, it depends on your definition of a lot, I guess. So, my dad said that whenever he went to, he was flying over on Qantas, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, there was no more beer going out of the galley than there was coffee. And all of my friends could not wait to get the Okie there so they could drink him under the table. And of course their beer is like 12 point. You know, I mean, it's strong. And so as soon as he shows up to the New Year's Eve party that my friends were giving me, they had a mug, had his name on it. He went by Butch. And so this was Butch's mug, and I mean, that thing did not go dry. And how he stood up the whole night, I have no idea. He does not know himself. He was just bound and determined that those young guys were not going to drink him under the table. So when I came back from Australia, I mean, there's a million stories. Whenever I go and speak to Rotary clubs, I get very excited because it brings back such great memories. But when I came back, one of the things my dad told me was, Tammy, whatever you do, stay in contact with the Rotary Club there. Because one thing that happens almost every single time is Rotary clubs will sponsor an exchange student, and after about a year, maybe 2, they just kind of fall off. You know, and you don't hear from them again, and you don't wonder, I mean, you wonder whatever happened to them, which is really what prompted me to do this. When I started my own business, because I'm thinking, Rotary Club, you have to be a business owner, and so I waited until I opened my own business to start checking into Rotary again, but I realized that that's very true. So, you know, 30-something years later, you know, I wanted the Rotary clubs to see someone whose life was positively impacted by this program. Because I want to encourage you, if you ever have the opportunity to sponsor an exchange student, please do it. It is an experience that the student will never, never, never be able to equal. We can't duplicate it, we can't make up the stuff that we learn and the experiences that we have when we're an exchange student. The only drawback that I have that I wish hadn't have happened was, you know, I gained about 35 pounds. So, but I was only 16. Yeah, I didn't do any of that at all. None. Stuck to my parents' rules the whole time, 100%. You know, there's a lot of great stories, and I wish I had more time. I could just tell you a whole bunch of really funny stuff. But I really want to emphasize to you guys the importance of this program, because by me being able to speak in front of large crowds, and even went to conference and did some speaking there, and went and spoke to businesses and corporations around the city, and particularly in Melbourne. I was real close to Melbourne. Gave me the opportunity to learn how to stand up in front of people, not be afraid, not be scared, and in my coaching, I'm not afraid, as Barbara says, to kick some butt if I need to. I'm very comfortable with that, and I can tell you that by starting back here with this program at age 16 and learning how to interact with successful business people like you, that really formed the foundation of where I am. It gave me a considerable amount of confidence, self-assurance, self-esteem. My mom calls it a little bit of arrogance and self-centeredness, but hey, we are what we are. It's not intended to be that way, but I'm just very confident, and I know that it starts back there, because by the time I got to be an adult, and opening up my third and fourth business, it was a no-brainer. I didn't have any problems going and talking to people about whatever it was I was doing. I had no problems talking to companies that needed the services that my brothers for their business had. It lays the foundation for being able to organize my thoughts, prepare to speak, do my homework so that I am prepared. All of those things that as successful business owners, as you know, and successful people in business, there's a lot that goes into being successful. Planning, goal setting, deadlines, knowing not to procrastinate. Okay, I'm not doing so good on that one. Procrastination is something that I still struggle with today, but I know what I'm supposed to do. Right? So, on behalf of exchange students all around the world, I want to thank you guys, Rotary International, for this program. And again, I really hope that you guys will have an opportunity. Y'all have never hosted you have hosted exchange students. Okay, great. How long ago was that?
Last year.
Last year. Okay, great, great. So, thank you again for allowing students like me to become, you know, really successful and people in our community based on the experience. And that's really all I have. I don't know if you guys have any questions for me, or if we have any time for questions.
Well, we are out of time, but that doesn't say Tammy will be here afterwards if they have any questions. Let's all give her a nice warm thank you. I wanted to let you know that it is our custom, instead of a speaker gift that you take with you, it's a speaker gift that keeps giving. We'll be donating a book in your name to a local elementary school library. Okay? All right. Thank you. That was a great speaker. Once again, this is why we do what we do in Rotary. I have a quick test for everyone. Where are they going to be next Tuesday at noon?
Not here.
Thank you. Remember, the club is closed, so we will not be having our meeting here. I do once again want to encourage you to go online and to find another Rotary Club to go visit, because that's a great experience, and we have lots of choices in the city of San Antonio. So if that's all for the good of Rotary,